Hey there. Now, you work 30 to 40 years, you save, you grind, you do everything right, and you tell yourself retirement is when it all pays off. But then it comes, and maybe it doesn't feel like the dream you pictured. In this video, I want to give you a reality check. I'm going to share the results of a study and also share my personal experience as a recent early retiree. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Now, don't get me wrong, retirement can be amazing, but only if you understand what's really waiting on the other side. Now, most of us have this image of retirement in our heads. We're going to have the time to do lots of traveling. We're going to wake up whenever we want, finally pursuing hobbies we've put off, and spend a lot of time reconnecting with friends. So it probably comes at no surprise, these are all common expectations of retirement. In fact, a recent MassMutual study that I have a link to in the description found that 76% of pre-retirees expect to travel, 71% plan to exercise, and 44% plan to pursue new hobbies. But, spoiler alert, it doesn't always work out that way. According to the same study, you know what the number one activity retirees actually do the most? It's watching TV. Yep, that's right. In fact, 83% say it's their primary daily activity. Travel, well, that drops from 76 to 59% in reality. Exercise is 59% in reality, dropping from a 71% expectation. So those treadmills that were clothes hangers, they still are. And I must admit this aligns with me. I had plans to exercise every day, but that just hasn't happened so far. Pursuing new hobbies, 44% expectation drops to just 29%. And here's a real kicker from the study. 31% of retirees say they feel lonely since leaving work. Reality check, that's 1 in 3. Let that sink in a bit. Now, you'd think the reason people struggle in retirement is money, as that's always what the focus seems to be on. But actually, most retirees say they're doing just fine financially. 78% of retirees say they have enough or more than enough in savings. So what's the real problem? It's this. People plan their finances for retirement, but not their life. Only 7% thought to build up their social life before leaving work. Same here. I never thought of it. Never gave it a second thought. And 13% regret not taking care of their health. Also, retirement isn't just a financial shift. It's a full identity shift. Let's talk about identity. For decades, your job defines you. It gave you structure, purpose, and a title. What's the first thing someone you meet asks? What do you do? And how do you respond? I'm a teacher, I'm a doctor. In my case, I'm a healthcare IT analyst. But then you retire and then suddenly, poof, that identity, it's gone. And it hits harder than people expect. This was a big one for me, especially in the first few days and weeks of retirement. It was just so strange not going to work every day, and I felt really weird, and I was like, okay, so now what? What am I going to do now? And I'm not alone. Per the study, 7% of retirees said they didn't know what to do with themselves. 31% say retirement made them feel lonely. And loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's now a full-blown public health issue, according to the U.S. Surgeon General, and I've included a link in the description. Let's switch gears and talk about the retirees who are thriving. The ones who are genuinely happy. They all have 3 primary things in common. They took care of their health, they built strong social circles, and they found a sense of purpose outside of work. Retirees who exercised, stayed connected, and found purpose were significantly more likely to report feeling much happier after retirement. They filled their free time with people, movement, and meeting, and it changed everything. For me, I'm focusing on my health, and it's making me feel better. I need to work harder at this, though. I told myself I was going to exercise every day, but that's not always the case. And I also said I'm going to eat better, but I need to work more on that too. I think the biggest thing to realize is that as human beings, we're really creatures of habit. So it takes some time to start a new routine, break out of old habits. So I'm learning I need to give myself some grace and realize all these things are not going to happen overnight. The sense of purpose, that I feel like I'm excelling at, and it does make a huge difference, especially with the loss of identity issue. Actually, that loss of identity was pretty short-lived for me as I lined up becoming a content creator. So I set up this YouTube channel and podcast, created a web page, and I'm maintaining it, created a Facebook page, so that has kept me really busy. And I'm also picking up the piano. The social connection part didn't even cross my mind prior to retirement, and it's not something that, to be honest, has really affected me. I think this really depends on your personality too. I'm naturally an introvert, so keeping all of my social connections is not a huge need for my mental health. But I think if you're an extrovert, this is a big change and something to think about having a plan for before you retire. All right, let's bust some more myths. These are some more of the biggest assumptions people make heading into retirement and what really happens. And I have to say, I agree with all of these as they reflect my own experience. So, myth number 1, retirement will naturally be exciting. The reality is, so excitement doesn't just appear. Without intentional planning, even retirees with time and money can feel bored and unmotivated. Excitement and fulfillment takes real effort. It's not automatic. Myth number 2, retirement will feel peaceful and fulfilling. Sure, 75% of retirees say that they felt less stressed, but many replace stress with something else, unfortunately: boredom, aimlessness, and loneliness. And 31% admit retirement has made them feel lonely at times. Myth number 3 is my relationships will stay the same. Nope. Retirement shifts everything, including your relationships. Coworkers fade out, routines disappear, and friends may still be working. Staying connected takes effort, and some bonds will change whether you're ready for it or not. For me, this has definitely been the case. I barely hear from my coworkers, and I get together with some of them just once a quarter. And it can be challenging when you feel like doing something during the week, but you have friends that are still working. Myth number 4, retirement means freedom from structure. The reality is, without structure, many retirees feel adrift. The happiest ones create daily routines with purpose. So not just freedom from the clock, but freedom with direction. And this has made all the difference to me. Every day of the week, I have routines that I do each day, like Wednesday is grocery shopping, Thursdays is paying bills, checking my investments, going through the mail. Well, you get the picture. I get through my must-haves, then I set goals for myself for the rest of the day, mostly centered around all the content creation tasks I'm doing. And I must tell you, I don't feel adrift or aimless at all, and I've never once been bored. Myth number 5, retirement is the end of growth. This is so wrong. The happiest retirees keep learning, building, and connecting. That could be starting a project, taking a class, mentoring and sharing their skills, or volunteering. They treat retirement as a beginning, not their life fading off. And this is so true. I have to say I've learned a ton since I've retired, and I'm still learning. Not only about content creation, which is what I'm focused on right now, but in general. I actually started watching YouTube every morning, primarily for the purpose of learning something new. And the other thing I've done here and there for the friends that have asked me is gave them investment advice. So that mentoring has been very fulfilling for me and enjoyable. So the key here to remember is that retirement isn't this guaranteed golden age, but with the right mindset and the right prep, You can avoid these traps I've mentioned entirely. So, to leave you on a practical note, here's how to build the retirement you actually want. First, take care of your health. Exercise and eat better. Second, build your post work identity. Explore who you are without the job. Third, reconnect or expand your social circle. Fourth, find purpose. Volunteer, create, mentor, build. And then lastly, accept imperfection. It won't all be perfect, and that's okay. Retirement isn't the finish line. It really truly is a new chapter in your life, one you have to build, not just fund with money. So before you retire, ask yourself, am I really ready for life after work? Because the happiest retirees, they didn't just step away from a job, they stepped into a purpose. Thank you for joining me in this episode of Early Retirement Roadmap. If you enjoyed and found meaning in what I had to share, please take a moment to hit the like button and subscribe. Subscribing helps YouTube notify you when a new weekly video comes out, but the likes and subscribing really helps to grow this very little YouTube channel and keeps me motivated to continue. And it's no cost to you, of course, and it just takes a moment of your time, and man, I sure do appreciate it. And please also leave a comment. I'd really love to hear from you, and I truly mean that. Share what you found insightful or eye-opening in this video, and if you have suggestions for topics for my next video, I'd love to hear that too. And if you're ever on the go and want to tune in, you can find Early Retirement Roadmap wherever you get your podcasts, or check out mikeupland.com for all of my media in one place, including my blog, and to contact me directly. Until next time, this is Mike Upland. Take care and make the most of today.